Hi everyone, welcome again to our series of tutorial videos for A10 control system. And in this video we are going to be covering an important topic, which is macros. And to explain quickly what macros are, a macro is a group of commands that you can save and recall this group of commands at any time you need. This will cut down a lot on the time you might be consuming in writing each and every command individually. And to show you how to do that, let's create a button. And let's say for this button I want to control our PDU, for example. So I'll go to PDU here and I will enter telnet commands, and then I'll write a command here that will turn on outlet number 1, and it's gonna look something like this. As you can see here, number 1 is stated and switch outlet 1. So basically the command looks like this, but this command will only turn on outlet number 1. Now in this PDU we have 8 outlets, and I want to turn on all the outlets at the same time, which means without a macro you need to write this same command 8 different times and change the number of the outlet. We have also like a tool like copy and paste here. You can see it's also easy to use, but you still need to do it a few times. So I have copy and paste here. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I can actually add 7 and 8. So now I have 8 of them. Now I will need to go in and change the number for each and every one. So the copy and paste is good, but you still need to adjust each and every command individually to the right number you want of the number of outlet. And also you can see it is a little bit of time consuming. So now I'm changing 6, and here we have 7, and here we have 8 as well. So now we have from outlet number 1 to 8 and all the right commands all on. So as you can see, we can use the copy and paste, but you need to still go and modify each and every number individually. Now here comes why a macro is very important. To do so, first let's save it as a macro. You go right here and you can save it here as a macro, and you can see save as success. Now if you go here to macro, you can see here there is a new macro, and this is the macro we just created. Now to modify this macro, we can actually go here and find it, and we can rename this macro here as PDU on. So as soon as you press rename, it will rename it as PDU on, and this macro will turn on the entire PDU. Now let's go back here to macro and press here, and you can see it's PDU on and has all the commands. Now this is very handy. Now I can use this PDU on macro in many different places. So for example, I can actually delete all these commands, and then I can just add PDU on, and now if I press on this button, it will turn on the entire PDU. I can also use it in many other places. So for example, if I go to the home page and presentation here, this button for example should do many things, like turn on the entire room, for example. And one of the aspects of turning on the entire room would be turning on the PDU. So instead of going and writing a command for each and every outlet, I can just bring in the macro for PDU on right away, and I don't need to enter a different command for each and every outlet that is on the PDU. So this is a very good way to cut down the time short and help you maximize, be more efficient in your workflow. So for example, I can here copy all of them and create a new macro, and this macro I can add all of them here and make this as PDU off. So I can here enter it off. So you can see, of course, in modifying it, it will be a little bit time consuming, but then in the future it's gonna be very simple and easy for you to use those macros in many different applications in your project. And of course it will be way more time efficient and easy to use those macros than write those commands in each and every button. You might use them individually. So here and one more. Now we have the macro for PDU off. Now I can actually rename this as PDU off, and it's there as well. So now I have a macro for PDU on and PDU off. One of the main utilizations, for example, for PDU off, it will be when you leave the room. So I can just go to leave the room one, and then I can just go to macro, make PDU off, and you can see here I don't need to write all the commands for each and every outlet on the PDU. So this was the video covering the creation of macros and the utilization of it. Where can you find it in the GUI? So just to revise it really fast, you can save the macro from here, and you can find all your macros here to revise them, or you can add macros from here as well. And the last thing, to find the macro and recall the commands, you need to go here and you can see all the macros that are created. Thank you very much.